Welcome everybody. We are in session 2 of our class, and today we, on one hand, repeat the fundamentals of software quality assurance, what we covered in session 1, and on the other hand we will be looking at the graphic user interface bug reports which you submitted. By the way, I like your bug reports overall, very good. You are probably the best class in that regard. Graphic user interface is something we cover today, and we will practice a little bit in writing bug reports. So I will take your bug reports and edit them to show you the direction in which bug reports will improve when you write them. So we go to the survey which you did, and I would say, guys, the number 136 here is not impressive really, because I would expect it to be, almost a double of that. And here is the point. If you cannot do it, or you you do not think it's important to do it, it will impact the results substantially of the class. So we expect you to do the questions, because then you go to interviews, then you go to and talk to people, and they will ask you exact same questions. So that is the value of the surveys. So let's repeat a little bit what we discussed in fundamentals, and I have the school forum with some questions there answered for you, and we have that page with 12 or 13 questions, and that page relates to the session 1. So I have two documents to look at when we discuss your answers. So question number 1 is graphic user interface standards and guidelines are established by who? See what happens. Software testing is a science and art of being up to requirements. And some requirements, business requirements, technical requirements, are targeting the functionality, how the application works. But there are requirements on graphic user interface, how the application looks like. And those guidelines, should we follow them? Who tells us we have to follow the guidelines? Why in the world we have to follow somebody else's guidelines? Most of the people who work in QA have no idea the guidelines exist. Interesting. If they learn about the existence, I would say majority of them will be happy to apply those guidelines. They just don't know it exists. So who creates the guidelines? Well, companies which develop operating systems, first of all. So Microsoft has guidelines for Windows applications. Apple has guidelines for Mac applications. Google has guidelines for Android applications. Again, Apple has guidelines for iOS mobile applications. And US government does guidelines for web applications, because nobody owns web. So web doesn't belong to this company or that company. So then government says, okay, if nobody does it, so then we have to. So government steps in, Department of Health and Human Services, and that department comes with the guidelines. So when we answer that question, who creates the standards? Microsoft for Windows applications, US government, usability.org website for web applications, industry best practices. We do want to know industry best practices. We do want to look at many other applications, especially applications developed by well-known companies, applications which have millions of users. Standards, or let's say guidelines might be updated 3 years from now. But in between now and 3 years from now, are things changing? Oh, absolutely. So those are called industry best practices. Eventually, industry best practices will be included into the guidelines. But guidelines are not being updated every day. So, industry best practices is kind of subjective thing, because different companies might be doing contradictory things. They might view the same thing under different angles. So you would choose, or maybe your management will choose which industry practices to follow, but we definitely take that into consideration for sure. Policies of your employer, so company where you work. Your company might have their own vision of how to do this and that. Definitely it might impact. International conventions. Guys, we are lucky. We do not have international conventions on graphic user interface, so we don't have to learn that stuff and we don't have to follow. Very good. Stanford University. Stanford University is a very good university. That is why it doesn't care about graphic user interface. So, and we have to say thank you very much, Stanford University, so we don't have to study your guidelines. Honestly, guys, I have no idea why you would decide that we've got international conventions and why you decided we have Stanford doing that. I didn't tell you anything about it, but, well, they are not. So, Microsoft for Windows applications, Apple for iOS and Mac applications, Google for Android, US government for web. That is how it works. Define regression testing. Looks like we are all pretty much doing the same thing. So 82% are saying making sure that no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. So nothing got broken. When new release comes and the pieces of software submitted by developers are compiled together, and then we do release acceptance testing, and if it passes release acceptance testing, then it goes to QA department, QA group, QA team, and then we do regression, making sure that nothing got broken in that release. And it happens a lot. You guys, you can't imagine how frequently it happens. Retesting fixed bugs. Nobody actually supports that. Making sure software is not broken while fixing bugs. Instead of fixing bugs, we are saying software modified for whatever reason. Okay? So, no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. That is the most exact definition. Good. What do you prefer, white or black box testing? You might say, why am I asking that? Because it happens, that exact question happens sometimes at the time of interview. And there is a reason to ask that question. Some people are kind of glorious by nature. Glorious. They, if you ask them, let's say there is a QA, manual testing QA interview, and you ask him, would you be rather developing code or testing code? And they say developing the code, which means they are guaranteed not to get that QA position. The same thing with white box. I mean, if there is a black box testing position, and you want to do white box testing, you prefer to do white box testing job, then who needs you? You are overqualified. You are not motivated. we cannot offer you anything in what you really want. So why would we hire you so to get an unhappy person, in the team? So let's go one by one. Black box, it's what I'm trained to do. There is some negative element in that answer. You would rather do white box, but you know what? You are not trained to do white box. You are trained to do miserable black box tasting. You are miserable. Give me black box. So you don't want to be miserable. You don't want to be limited in what you do. I mean, if you do black box testing, it means you like it. You like it. So automated black box testing, well, you might qualify to do that, but it's not the case what we discuss here. So we are looking at black box testing position. You have interviewer, you have recruiter asking you, or manager asking you, white box, I like to use programming languages. Look, you like to use them, but you are applying for QA, manual black box position, so you will not get one. You might not get a white box position because you don't know programming languages enough. So that is the big time problem. But even bigger problem is the black box, something you can really do, they will not offer you because you want to do white box. So you actually disqualify yourself. Black box, it is easier to do. Okay. White box, it pays more money, nobody uses that. Good. Black box. Black box. Why do you want to do black box? Because that is what you do, and you like it. But I would like to get involved in the white box testing as well. Guys, if you have a chance to let me be a part of white box testing, I want that. Everybody needs some room to grow, guys. You want to grow toward utilization of programming languages and tools. So automated testing, you want it. White box testing, you want it. But what kind of job are you looking for now? Black box testing, manual. But I really appreciate the chance to get involved into something more complicated. That is how you keep all the doors open. So the black box manual is open because you say, yes, that is what I do. But if they are looking for someone who would eventually move into automation or white box, you say, I'm open. Look at me, I'm open. So you keep all the doors open. So that is a very important skill. When you talk to people, you try to keep most of the doors open. Sometimes you cannot. I mean, really. Do you have 5 years of development experience? You don't. And you don't want that door, okay? Because really, even if they hire you, how many days you're going to be there? So, but you're trying to keep as many doors open as possible. What is quality? We talked about it a little bit. So, measure of a state of being free from defects. It is not what we teach you. Honestly, I'm wondering where does it come from? Let me try to Google for it. I don't know. So it's not exactly measure the state of being free from defects. I don't know where it comes from, but what can I tell you? It is not exactly what we call quality. I mean, if you work inside the company, if you are inside the company, and you have requirements, and you compare requirements to the actual product, you might say, well, no defects, but it's not what people are saying. The way we teach you, we are saying it's customer satisfaction, which is subjective term. It depends on the customer and who that customer is. Each type of customer will have their own view on quality. That is what we teach you. And it helps if you really do the homework and learn it. From one view, it's customer satisfaction. But from the other view, it's how close the real product is to the requirement. We tell you that when it comes to software quality. We are saying software quality, on one hand, software quality is a measurement of how close the software is to the requirements, because we are in QA department. But at the same time, we understand that there is a difference. So customers do not view that software quality, from same position. To them, it is customer satisfaction. So, okay. So that question wasn't about software, so you might not really go into professional kind of view of what's quality. Customer satisfaction has all the requirements. God knows what it means. Customer satisfaction has all the requirements. I disagree with that. And I don't know why requirements are coming to the... Oh, it's like two things. Customer satisfaction is one. Okay, the word customer is misspelled. Has all the requirements implemented. Maybe it's two positions in one. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Customer satisfaction. Depends who you ask. If in our field quality is a product that is bug-free, nobody is asking you about your field. Guys, answering the question is important. I mean, you might be answering another question, but people want their questions to be answered. Number one. Number two, we teach you how to answer that question. So why would you ignore? Quality is customer satisfaction. Defined as customer satisfaction. It's not defined. It's not defined, but it is what you think. Okay, we consider quality to be kind of subjective matter, pretty much about customer satisfaction. It's not exactly defined. Quality could be defined in different ways. From user's perspective, quality means customer satisfaction. To people involved in company development and maintenance, quality is a measurement. Okay, and the question still is quality, not software quality. So you are confusing two different questions. So one question is about quality and another one is about software quality. Just, I want you to sense the difference. Software quality is our profession. That is why we bring more to that. Quality, philosophically, I mean, what's quality? When people talk about quality, what these people mean? Not quality professionals, but people. When you buy a pair of shoes, when you get into an automobile, so you don't know anything about requirements. Quality is used. The word quality, the term quality, is used by everybody. I mean, each and every person on the planet talks about quality. Software quality is a very narrow professional niche, so then we talk about more things. What is gray box testing? When tester has access to database. No, not really. Gray box testing is a combination of white box and black box. Not really. Not really, it's wrong. I mean, dead wrong. Tester has limited knowledge of the code. No. Tester has no idea of the code. Tester has no idea of the code. Let me see what we have on that. Gray box testing. So, gray box testing is using structural, design, and environment information, complete or incomplete, not code, structure, design, environment, to expand or focus black box testing. Expand or focus black box testing. So, gray box testing is an extension of black box. It is not white box. It doesn't work with the source code. And to enhance testing productivity by using appropriate methods and tools. So methods and tools is critical. You cannot do gray box testing without methods and tools. Maybe programming languages or something. We'll come with a couple of examples. So it says, first of all, it is extension of black box testing. It is about using methods and tools, languages, and a lot of web testing is done in gray box area. It's true. So when you test a web application, you will do lots of gray box testing. And it says, avoid saying it's a combination of black and white box testing. It is not true. It is an extension of black, and it doesn't touch the code. If it touches the code, it becomes white box testing. Whatever touches the code, source code, is white box testing. Okay? What would be an example of gray box testing? We will talk about it in session 10 when we talk about web applications testing. We have a session dedicated to web applications testing. As an example, for example, you have a web application and it has 3 different servers. It has a web server, database server, and application server. And each server generates a log file. So it writes some data to the log file. So later on, people who are interested might be looking into the log file. So you might use programming or scripting language to write a routine which will analyze the log file and well, whatever information you might need out of the log file. Maybe some information about errors or connection time or God knows what. I don't know. So database, when you register, I gave you the form today, so you register in our database and pay the tuition. So when you register, there's going to be a record created in the database. So how would you know if the record is a correct record? For example, you might have a tool which allows you to look inside the database so you can see the record. You can validate each and every field of that record being correct. So is it white box testing? No, you don't touch any source code. Is it black box testing? No, not really. You go beyond the interface. So you extend black box testing because you have some tools. So tool which allows you to go to the database. You extend black box testing because you can write a script in Python or I don't know, whatever language you like, JavaScript. So which allows you to go to the log file and parse the log file and find a couple of lines which indicate certain things. Okay, let me see. Any questions so far? Okay. Reality is the difference between expected and real. Sorry, you missed the question. What is tester for? I missed the question. Let's see. What is gray box testing? Okay, we talked about gray box testing. Now, oh, good. Developers test their code. What software testers are needed for? Good. See, people find a bug in my presentation. Some inconsistency. Yeah. So developers have lack of time, so they don't have enough time to test everything, especially black box, negative and regression. I wouldn't mention black box, but I would mention negative and regression for sure. Negative, regression, and also broader view, system level testing. Because developers do not develop the whole system. Developer develops a couple of units, couple of modules of that code. So testers help with negative testing, regression testing, and system level testing. Testers are doing negative and have the cold mind while testing the product. Well, cold mind is not specifically, available to testers only. Okay, but negative regression system. Okay, negative. Okay, negative. The job tester is to be skeptical about a product. Developers do their code, but they perform mostly positive testing, which is true. Testers perform negative. And again, regression. Regression is huge, guys, and we have to do it each and every release. We have to do regression. It's huge. Negative regression and other. Okay, good. So guys, when you say that gray box testing means that tester have access to database, it is a dead wrong definition. So as an example, yeah, you can say, for example, tester goes to the backend to validate, the data input through the forms available in graphic user interface. Yes. But it does not define gray box testing. The question was not give me an example. The question is, what is that? So combination of black and white is dead wrong. You might tell me there is someone who wrote that garbage on Wikipedia. And well, Wikipedia is full of garbage. As long as people who put garbage there put garbage, so it's going to be garbage. So then you have to go there maybe and rewrite that specific article. Lots of people have no idea what they are doing, and they write it on Wikipedia. I can tell you that 4 or 5 years ago, the entire Wikipedia was like a garbage can when it comes to software testing. I don't know who did it, what country he is from, and how he learned software testing, but definitely he didn't learn anything. And so I told everybody, guys, don't ever use Wikipedia for software testing definitions and terms. But then it improved dramatically. 4 or 5 years ago, someone came and did it nicely, and but the gray box testing stuff is still, total garbage. What can I tell you? Okay, I guess. What do you mean, I guess? And we have one person who says, I guess, another one says, I guess. Why would you guess? We don't have to guess. You have to go find out and give the answer. We don't need your guess. You don't need any guessing, because you do that in anticipation of a job interview. What do you mean you get? Now it's not time for guessing. Now it's time for learning. And gray box could be spelled using E or A. It could be gray and gray, and it is still same word. It might be used one way or another way. What are the common stages of software development lifecycle? You remember last time we talked about software development lifecycle, and it was about definition. How would you define, or what is software development lifecycle? So now we are saying, okay, what are the stages? And again, there is no exact answer to that question, because it really depends on your project. The nature of the project is one thing, and the approach which people who run the project, the approach they have. So it might be a small organization or a big organization. It might be software developed for our own needs, or it might be software developed for our client, who is paying us money as a consulting company, so we do it for them and disappear. So many circumstances would define the exact set of stages in software development lifecycle in this company or that company, this project or that project. So you can say, as an example, it's an example. What are the common stages? Okay, analysis, specification. I would like to see the word requirements. I don't know what you mean. Software element analysis, I don't know what you mean. Specification, I don't know what you mean. Technical, is it requirements? What is that? Architecture, coding or implementation, testing, documentation, maintenance. So to me, it's not clear what you mean under specification. Planning, developing, programming. Developing and programming is exact same thing. Designing, so planning, designing, but before design I would want to have requirements, and then design, and then programming, and then testing and release. Analysis, requirements. Okay, you do business analysis. So business analysts are doing analysis. They are providing use cases as business requirements. Then we get technical requirements. Then we get architecture, the structure of the project. Then architecture, software design. It is same thing, architecture or software design. Then implementation means coding. Really, we have to do programming, and then the maintenance of the code. Okay. Requirements analysis, good. System design, good. Implementation means coding, programming, testing, deployment, maintenance. Deployment means we do it for probably in-house needs. Let's say if we work in Wells Fargo Bank, and we develop something for people who work in this Wells Fargo Bank, then we have to do deployment. We have to go install software. We have to teach people how to use it. We have to help them with configurations and settings and like that, and so on. So deployment is not exactly a very common stage for market software. Deployment is a very common stage for in-house software. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Planning, defining, designing, building means programming. See how many words are used for programming. Building, programming, developing, implementing, what else? Yeah, requirement gathering and analysis, design, development, implementing, testing, maintenance. I don't know what's develop and implementing. Really, I'm not sure what it meant here. Planning, requirement analysis, software design, software development, integration and testing, software implementation, again, deployment, yeah, implementation, and then maintenance. Okay, if you ask me, so I would say analysis. Let's say business analysis. Then. Oh God. Okay, business analysis. Then we will do requirements. Technical requirements. Yeah? Technical requirements. Design means architecture. Coding, same as coding, same as development, or building, as some people say, building, or programming. There is one more word here which I don't like. That is the word implementation. I will put it in brackets. Implementation, because the word implementation has two different meanings. So one is programming, and another one means installation, configuration, training. So making sure that people can use it. So same as deployment and so on. So coding, testing. There might be, let's say, documentation. Might be or might not be, and then maintenance, definitely. Maintenance. So when you go from 1.0, you go to 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. What happens? What's happening? Maintenance. When you develop website for the company and then you update that website maybe once a month, what do you do? Maintenance. Okay. Okay, that is the set of common test cases. Oh God. The common stages of development life cycle. That is waterfall, by the way. That is waterfall model. Waterfall model. Because when it comes to agile, it's different. Waterfall. Any questions so far? Can you suggest any other sources besides Wikipedia? You have, I mean, we give you so much. We give you so many resources. Why don't you use our stuff? And you're gonna get a book, so you can use the book. The book is very good. What do you recommend to do with usability.gov? How can I use it as a tester? It's an interesting question. If you go to usability.gov, guys, the interface changes, sometimes. So what I'm recording for you right now might not be exact same way, working same way in a year or two, but there is a section here. Yeah, it says guidelines. So well, first of all, if you understand what's usability, basics of user experience, methods, templates and documents. I mean, the whole thing is extremely helpful when it comes to interviews. I mean, it changes you because now you get the vision. So just browsing that website and getting better idea of what's usability is critically important, really. But then you go to guidelines. If you talk about practical things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is the book. Okay, you can see it here. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 18th. You can download chapter by chapter. I would suggest you to download the whole book. Why the whole book? Because the whole book has appendices at the very end. So, and in there you will see the glossary. So glossary is glossary. It explains terminology used in graphic user interfaces. It is very important when you write bug reports. So you call things the right way. Then at the end of the book, let's see if I can download it. I have pretty fast line here. So then I can go to the very end here. Oh yes, glossary. Okay, and after the glossary, right after the glossary, look what you've got here. It's called appendices. Guidelines ranked by relative importance. You have checklist of 400 checkboxes. 400. Let me scroll down. And they are sorted by relative importance, and the highest importance is 5. So we scroll down. Just look at that list. We keep going and going and going and going. 400 things to test on the website. And how it works here, when you read the chapter, or it says here, for example, it says 6.8, use fluid layout. And it talks about that stuff. It gives you pictures, and it has a number. And then if you read that book, and after you read the book and you understand things, you just look at the checklist. You don't have to look at the book anymore. It gives you 400 things, 400 opportunities to find a problem on the website. So that is the value. If you ask me, that is my answer. I don't know if I really convinced you to use it, but it is absolute priceless, you know. Okay, more questions here. Can you send the link on a book? Yes. Interesting. Okay, whatever we do here is recorded, guys. It is recorded. So we have 194 students now in the class, but it will be waiting for you. And if you don't know where the recordings are, they are on the online home page, that one. So online home. The previous session is right here, so September 20th. That is the recording of the previous session. And the next session will show up right here, hopefully today. If not today, then tomorrow. So it will be recorded and we're going to keep it here. So let's keep going. Typical problems in software requirements are. Guys, the answer was given to you right here. Look at that. What is software development lifecycle? And then there is a link to that page which I copied from Wikipedia at some point. Because Wikipedia changes, and I copied that maybe 5-6 years ago. So I liked it so much, I said, I have to keep it for our students. And when it talks about software element analysis and specification, they call it specification. I don't like exactly the term, coming back to what some of you wrote. But it says, customers typically know what they want, but not what software should do, while incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements are recognized by skilled and experienced software engineers. Incomplete, ambiguous, contradictory. Okay? So when it comes to stages of software development lifecycle, I don't want you to learn it from Wikipedia. Okay? It's not where we learn it. I mean, it's okay. But software element analysis and specification, if you say specification, then people will ask you same things which I am asking you. Business, is it requirement? Well, what is that exactly? Okay? So it is not a very common term. Not very common term. Okay. Good. Typical problems in software requirements are ambiguity, which is 1 out of 3. Incompleteness, which is 1 out of 3. And contradictory. Yes. Ambiguous, contradictory, or incomplete. Repetitiveness, well, is not really a problem. It's not like you are missing something. Multiplicative, God knows what it means. Forgiveness, duplication, two-dimensional, some garbage. Guys, when I created those quizzes, I meant to give you all the opportunities to fail. I want you to fail when you do the quiz. Why? Because if you fail now, it's much better than failing at the time of interview. I want you to fail. I want you to go through that stuff again and again, again and again, and finally getting to the right point. So my quizzes are built to fail. Okay, so next time you go to that, it's built to fail. So think twice, do some research, and so on. And most of you did a very good job. I mean, 66%, 77%, 61%. Good. Who is a better tester? Huh? The one who submits more bug reports, or the one who has more bugs fixed? We still have almost 27% of you saying that person who submits more bug reports is a better tester. But I would say when they hire you, really, from the management standpoint, when they hire you to make a positive impact to the quality of the software. They want you to do something good about it. Now, if you write lots of bug reports, but we cannot really fix your bugs, so then your positive impact is limited to the bug reports which we really used. Okay? And other bug reports might well be just distractions, you know. So it means negative stuff. We spend time and we get nothing out of it. So people who have more bugs fixed make more of positive impact. So we can say they are better testers. Okay? Looking from management perspective, looking from corporate perspective, looking from the perspective of people who hire you. So when they hire you, they want to make sure we are on the same page when it comes to what's good, what's not good. So they want to understand. It is a common interview question, by the way. So, and that is why we look at it. And when they ask you that question, they want to make sure you understand that it's all about fixing bugs. It's not about reporting them. It's about fixing. So the bug report is as good as it is fixed. Okay. Okay. What is ad hoc testing? Let's see. Monkey testing. Okay, let's scroll down. Monkey testing. Random use of software functionality. That is the most popular one. Simultaneously planning and executing. Simultaneously executing and learning. Simplified form of exploratory testing. Okay, let's talk about it. So, exploratory testing. It is a simplified form of exploratory testing. Exploratory testing has 3 components in it. So component number 1 is planning. So we are planning to do something. Then we do that. So we execute. So executing. And it is not a formal training. It is not like testing. It's not like you have test cases. No, really. You just look at it and you say, what is that thing about? So you are planning. And then you do it. So what if I type, what if instead of zip code, I will type my last name? So that is the planning. Then you type it and push submit button. And then it crashes, or maybe gives you some message asking you to restart the application or some irrelevant message. Whatever happens. Executing and then learning. You remember that exploratory testing has the major purpose of getting familiar with the product. What does it do? How does it work? You are not exactly looking for a bug. You are trying to make sure you understand how it works. But meanwhile, since you don't know much about it, you run into problems on, a lot. So that is exploratory testing. Now I will copy that and paste and say ad hoc. Ad hoc testing. And so why is it simplified form of exploratory? Because in ad hoc, planning, executing, and learning happens at the same time. Can you believe it? That is why people call it monkey testing, because monkey obviously cannot plan and monkey cannot learn. Monkey just executes something following the reflexes it has. But as a human, guys, as a human, even if you want to, you cannot act as a monkey. You're still going to be thinking before and after and in parallel. So it looks like monkey testing, and some people call it monkey testing, but there is a very well-known article written by well-known gentleman who explains why ad hoc is not monkey testing. It's wrong to call it monkey testing. I mean, it's not a big deal if you call it monkey testing, but what I'm saying, there is an industry standard, kind of, which says it's not monkey testing because it still has planning and learning components, but the whole thing is done kind of at the same time. Okay, planning, executing, learning, and so on. Okay, so guys, do you like the idea of ad hoc testing now? Tell us, please, about common stages in testing. You are report bugs, no? You are reporting, not fixing. Is it possible fix bugs without touching codes? No, it's not possible. You can rethink. You can say, well, it's not a bug. Let's keep it the way it is. It's a cute feature. I mean, that is the only way. Okay, what's awesome? I don't know. We do not answer questions about software testing. We study the profession. And there are no common stages in testing, really. Because there are common stages in software development lifecycle. And there is one more common interview question, which is tell me about software life cycle, software testing life cycle. I can tell you a couple of words here. Testing life cycle. So not development life cycle, but testing. Or not testing. Let's call it bug. Okay, let's be more precise. Let's call it bug. Bug life. Oh, you know. Bug life cycle. Software bug life cycle. Software testing is more complicated. We don't touch it right now. So bug life cycle. So bug was found. It was found. It was reported. Found includes reproduced. So you might say you find it first and then you make sure it is reproducible. But some people say if I found the bug and I say it's a bug, it means it is reproducible. So it is reported, then it is assigned to developer. We will talk about bugs a little bit, I mean, later on. Assigned to developer, then fixed, and then verified, fixed. Verified, fixed. Those are pretty much obvious things, but we are practicing the interview questions and answers. And honestly, guys, when we do the surveys here, the questions and answers, we are practicing interviews here. All those things are coming from interviews. I would never look at a question which has no interview time value, because there are so many questions which do have interview time value. So why would I even talk about anything else? Okay, so we are pretty much done with the quiz. Any questions about quiz? No, not yet. Okay, I do not see. Other groups are not asking anything. Can you comment our reports? Tole, Orange, HRM? Absolutely. Okay, let's spend another 10 minutes on that. So let's exit this one, and this one, and this one. And here is your Tole page, so the one we tested for graphic user interface, not for functionality. And here are your bug reports. So I will take one report, one bug report out of one person. Let's say number 9, just randomly. Search results table. Dates of invoices are not in predefined range in search block. Okay, let me try to rephrase it myself. So bug report number 9, search results table. Dates of invoices are not. Dates of invoices. Okay, invoice date. Okay. They are not in the predefined. What? Dates are not in predefined range in search block. now, as a developer, I'm asking you, what exactly do you want me to fix? And I told you, did I tell you last time? If not, bug report is about three things. It answers three questions. What happened? What happened? Three W's. Rule of three W's. What happened? What happened? Where it happened? Where it happened? And under which circumstances? So I would report it that way. I would say invoice date table. That is where things happened, in invoice date table. Just say it. It's not the whole table of search results. It is a specific column. So invoice date column. Okay. What happened there? There is a predefined order, not predefined, but there is an order specified by user, and it says it should be in between June 5th and September 30th. And we have October 1st thing here, which is outside of the range. So that is what I'm saying. So what happens? So such and such value, okay, value is not, or let's say is outside of the range specified. And I mean, if I think it's not intuitive enough, I might actually provide the values. I can say, okay, from here, copy, paste, and I put it in double quotes, so everybody understands we are talking about something in user interface. Okay, that one and that one. Copy. Okay. So October 1st is outside of the range. That is what I would do. So in my list it's going to be number one. Guys, do you understand what I'm doing here? Do you understand why I'm trying to be that exact? Because I want it fixed. Okay, no, it's not here. It's we go to the next one. I want the bug to be fixed. The only reason to write a bug report is to make it fixed. You have to sell that bug report to developer. Means developer has lots of things to be done, and if you want him to fix your bug report, it should be clear. He shouldn't come to me and say, show me what you meant. Or he didn't call me from Bangalore or Rio de Janeiro saying, I do not understand. Because they just stop fixing your bug report. So we have to learn how to write a bug report with developer in mind. So he has to fix it. Okay, let's take another one. Let's say this one. Copy. I'm not reading, guys. I'm doing that randomly. So what does it say? Let's make it number 2. Invoice date options in search my invoices block. Why I mean block? Why don't you say section? Why block? I don't know anybody who would use the word block, honestly. Should be predefined list. What the hell it means? Invoice date options in search my invoices. What is search my invoices? Search my invoices is a section, okay, on that page, okay. Search my invoices, and the word really I do not understand. I'm not playing games, guys. I'm just invoice date options. Invoice date, this one and this one, okay. Why options? Why, invoice date options in search by invoices block should be predefined lists. We are talking about graphic user interface testing. So invoice date. So basically, what you are trying to say here is, instead of typing, let's say input data input data using list boxes, not text boxes. That is what person says. So the person says, instead of typing dates here, just click on it. I mean, same way like here. So list is called list box. Implement list boxes here, but honestly, I don't know why would you do that. I mean, you might use calendar thing. Yeah, there is something like a calendar, which is much more appropriate, because selecting data from the list, which might be like thousands and thousands of items big. I've never seen any application which would accept dates out of list box. They might accept application using the calendar button. So yeah, it happens. It happens. You like we have you know, in many other applications. But it is a suggestion. But again, we are not talking about about how valuable is a suggestion. I mean, to me, it might be valuable. Yeah, invoice date. Then I would say implement calendar feature for each text field. That is exactly, well, that is what I would do. I mean, if I would say we don't want people to type, we want them to enter it through some user interface, I would say, okay, let's implement calendar feature and so on. Okay. Go to the next one. Let's say 5. Search results table. Actions button is absent. Okay. Copy. Okay. So number 3 in our case. So, and again, it is not, it is search result Apple, but search result table. Okay, let's say search results 11th row. Okay, search results 11th row. Actions button is, I don't like the word absent, is missing. Actions button is missing. The real problem here is we might not really need that 11th row altogether, because it has to be 10. But we can still write a bug report. There is no problem like that. So search results 11th row, action button is missing. It's okay. So where? Search results 11 rows. What happened? Action button is missing. Which circumstances? No circumstances. It's always missing. Okay, guys. Let me ask you. Are you following me? Do you understand what I'm doing there? Why I modify bug reports this way? The sense of bug report is different. It means that it should be a calendar, but it didn't say calendar. It said a list. List is a specific term. List is a term. It's not kind of human language term. It's a graphic user interface term. Better to be targeted and specific. Okay. You choose the same bug, maybe. Maybe invoice date option boxes. There are no option boxes. I mean, there is no entity which you can call option box. It is called list box. List box. And what you see inside is not options. What you see inside is list items. List box is beefed up with items. Do not have drop boxes because of different dates format. Okay. So what kind of issue tracking system do you recommend? You are kidding me. I'm not recommending anything. You will get familiar with two in our class. So one is called Elementool, another one is Bugzilla, which we use in the projects. And you start working on projects literally session 6 or session 7 is going to be your first project, session 7. So we have, this is session 2. Then we have 3, 4, 5 next week, 6 Monday. I do, and then 7 and 8 you will do the first project. You're going to do more than one project. Okay, I can tell you that we have a problem of definition. Guys, we definitely have problems of definitions. You are supposed to have problems of definitions. It's your second time. I mean, you look at me, and definitely you will be learning that, and you will be practicing, and you will go over that by practicing, not by listening or by reading a book or by doing projects. So you will be practicing, and but listening is important. Doing homework is important. Practicing, I mean, doing the project is important. I mean, and all together it comes with certain synergy, you know. So you can go and get a job. Where we can learn bug report vocabulary? In our course. In our course, we have a lot on that. And you will write lots of bug reports, and we will correct you on that. And then on your class page here, we have a couple of videos. So we have 3 sessions, but we also have bug reporting and bug tracking here. And we will be doing bug reporting next time. So session number 3, when we get together, we'll be doing lots of bug reporting. It's going to be pretty much about bug reporting next time. We will go through bug reports a lot. So we have a video. And again, you will get many videos later on. I just don't want you to be overwhelmed with something which will distract you from making first steps in the profession with me. Okay, at some point you're going to be able to do lots of things independently, but so far I just want you to stay, you know, within the tough guidelines which we give you. Just don't do this, don't do that, just do it with me. Okay, don't go to Wikipedia yet, because it confuses you. Okay, that is my point. Okay, guys, thank you very much. And if we have no more questions, and let me see if we do. In case I have an issue to understand the study project, whom should I address the question? So your first line of defense is Christina. And so if Christina needs my participation, so I join. So we communicate with Christina like 10, 15, 20 times a day. So there will be homework for Monday. Oh, absolutely. There's going to be homework. And the homework is you go to session 3 on that page now. Session 3, which is a resume builder project. Requirements, GUI testing, writing bug reports. and you watch 2 webinars which we did at some point a few years ago. Then you install it. Okay, and then guys, if some links are not working, tell us immediately and we're gonna fix it, because that page and that website altogether, LASTH.com website, we are using it first time. We are moving data from portnow.com to just another website. So if you run into link which is not working, so just tell us. We fixed the link to the SQA forums in session 2, that one. SQA forums, it does go to the right place now. So the link was, at some point it was covering both QA forum and an SQA forum, but so it was redirecting, but I didn't know it stopped doing that. So now it goes to the right place. Guys, tell us if you run into any links not working and so on. So your homework is you watch one video and watch another video. Then you install Resume Builder and you test it for graphic user interface. And you report that on the forum. Create your own resume in Resume Builder. So get some user experience with Resume Builder. You watch Zig Ziglar video. I hope it is there. Yeah, it is there. It is there. And then you have requirements for Resume Builder, very modest requirements. And then you repeat the interview questions and answers one more time. So make sure you can answer those things just on the fly, without looking anywhere, without looking to Wikipedia and giving me anything from Wikipedia, instead of giving us the answer from that exact list. Okay? So that is where we are. So we want to make sure that after session 3, we are ready to go in deeper into what we study here. And we want you to get enough exposure to decide if you want to stay or if you want to continue. Okay, guys, it is a very important point in your study. You have to decide if you can handle that, if you have enough time, if you have enough drive, motivation, and so on. Okay, so guys, I'm done for today. Thank you very much. And our next session will happen Monday next week. Same time, same place. Thank you very much.